Hi there, I'm Alecia Rep, the Energy Queen. Welcome back to a training here. So back when I was living in Thailand in 2018 or before that, Troy and I realized this little formula here. Math plus psychology equals result. So this really blew our minds, and this is a big reason why I'm obsessed with numbers and playing with numbers and seeing how they stack and using formulas to build maps, basically. So the clients who've been stepping into my world, we've been creating 225K plus per year businesses. And these are high profit, low expenses, and very much an easy, simple to run business, right? Whereas before, when they were coming to me, they were maybe doing like 50 to 70K a year. And this was like full on, whoops, full on. They were really hustling, working so hard, all of their weeks booked out, working with tons and tons of clients. And for some reason, they couldn't figure out why they were secretly stressed out and frustrated, right? And then when they come to me and we start playing with their business models and we start playing with their pricing and we start playing with their delivery structures, they were able to quantum leap to multiple six figures in less than a year of working with me, right? So one client did it in less than 10 months. Another client did it in 9 months. So yeah, about the 9 month 9 months is sort of that incubation period to get the first multiple six figures. And then one of my other clients, his first year did that in 9 months. And then the second year, he actually did it again, but it was even more profit margins and even lower expenses. So it just keeps getting easier and better the more that you refine into this model, right? So this is why I love premium pricing and being really clean in your business model, right? So before, when they came to me, they were trying to sell everything. They were trying to sell just whatever came their way. They were basically on that hamster wheel and never being able to stop. So they were only focused on the next deal, right? Every day, all day, stressed, secretly just trying to focus on getting that next sale in, right? And so when they come to me, what we really focus on is long-term vision. So we get them off of that hamster wheel and we build a runway for them so they can run and take off, right? And this is very, very important because this gets you into your visionary mode and your leader mode. And you start thinking more powerfully. You start handling your wealth differently. And you start operating at a higher level across all areas of your life and your business, okay? So this is a big reason why they're able to leap from these like mid to high 5 figures to multiple 6 figures. And these are highly qualified, highly experienced and trained individuals. They were just sort of stuck in the way the 99% run their business, which isn't scalable or the smartest way to do it, right? But this happens to a lot of people who are very smart and trained and educated and wise and have a lot of experience in entrepreneurship because, groupthink, we see what everyone else is doing and we think that's how we need to show up. But when I come in like a laser of focus and like lightning bolt through their soul, I show them the more powerful way that they can be using their gifts and talents. So we basically package up, package up their gifts into a higher value service. And then from that point, they're able to communicate their value and receive larger payments and pay in fulls. So all my one-to-one clients who start really honoring this process and making it their own, they become pay in full magnets, right? So they're getting like 25K plus pay in fulls all of the time. Literally, I stopped counting how many 25K pay in fulls they were getting because it just became their new normal, right? And that became the baseline. And this is for people who are like coaches, consultants, service providers, things like that. I am going to start talking more about entrepreneurs who have like a product-based business, which is actually volume, but this is the kind of volume that I like. So for coaches, consultants, service providers, things like that, I love to start with the less clients, more dineros method, because this is going to get you to cash flow and profit much, much faster. And then you use that money to reinvest into the business and build out your scalable offering, whatever that might be, right? So my clients become 25K pay in full magnets, the ones who are consultants, coaches, service providers, things like that. Then they start closing 50K and six-figure deals because they've leveled up their wealth consciousness, the level of their communication, so that's executive communication, and how they're able to command premium pricing. And then these feel more natural and easy for them. And then they get sometimes like 50K pay in fulls and close six-figure deals, right? And so imagining, you know, let's see here. So yeah, 9 25K pay in fulls is 225K. 9 clients. And now you can see how in 9 months or less, this becomes very easy to make multiple six figures, right? And that's not, obviously that's not exactly how it always happens, because sometimes maybe they'll close, say, a 15K. Maybe they'll get a 10K pay in full first, 15K, and then maybe they'll do a few 20s, 25, and then it's like, you know, 45 and the 50Ks drop. So, you know, this is just to give you an idea with the numbers, like math plus psychology, that it can be about 9 clients, but sometimes it happens like a little differently, right? It could, you know, it could very much easily become, you know, 215K packages, boom, multiple six figures, right? So this is the crazy thing about how I'm changing the game with my clients here and helping them get out of the rat race, off the hamster wheel, and really owning their premium energy, being able to command premium prices and get to multiple six figures in 9 months or less. And from this place, now this is where it gets really fun and exciting. Once we're there, and once we've really cleaned out a lot of the like the mass conditioning and the healing that's required and the leadership elevation, so elevating how they're leading themselves in their business and their life, then from that place it gets really fun. And this is where we get to springboard to millions. And this is what I'm working on with one of my clients right now, where like I mentioned before, he was having around like 5K months, 30 to 70K years, stuck at that for a long time before we started. His third month with me was a 32K month. After that, it was all 5-figure months. For the last the last, I guess, 19 months or so. Plus, I'm not exactly sure how many months, I think that. Now that he has stabilized this new normal, stabilized selling at 50K and a 6-figure deal, now we get to build the simple, scalable model to millions. And this is what we're working on this year. So instead of, 25K being his baseline, now it's 50K, and we're creating like a workshop model so that, once a month he can run a workshop and then sell multiple people on his 50K offer, and then do that enough times over the year, and it could be 2 million plus in sales, right? But this, to get here to these numbers, would absolutely not have been possible if we didn't go through all of this first. Stabilizing, being able to actually hold, going from 30 to 70K years to 30 to 60K, I think 60K was his highest month, 30 to 60K months. That is a major transformation, right? So first we had to do this initial work to build the level of leadership and create clean energy and let go of the mass conditioning from society, upbringing, all of that, right? We had to do all that first work. And now that that's in place, stabilized, and his new normal, now we get to build to this in a really, really clean way, right? And even if I think about who he was before, he was actually really wanting like big results. And on our second year when it started, he's like, this could be my 7-figure year. And that actually harmed him for a while. And I told him this was going to happen. And I said, going from 225K to 7 figures is possible. But what if you just focused on, stabilizing and growing a little bit from where you're at? And that's still an epic result, right? So that's actually what we ended up doing. And now he's at the place where he's like, I don't even care about like the big stuff. I want to build something that's simple and scalable, and I can build that model to millions. And now we're in a much more grounded energy so that this will be possible, and he won't wobble or shake because it's not even about this anymore. It's about rocking the simple, scalable model that he loves to deliver his best service in the highest value way. And the byproduct will be this, but this isn't what we're after. It's actually never about the money, and it's always about the psychology, right? So we use the math to create the roadmap, but this is actually the most important part, right? So this is essentially the strategy, which is the 20%, but this is the 80%. Who are you being, right? So let me know if that made sense to you, if that inspired you. I wanted to give you a higher perspective on how we're actually doing this in my client's world. It's very possible for you as well if you're an entrepreneur, coach, consultant, service provider, and you are ready to step into your higher value business model, become a higher value leader, and build to multiple 6 figures in a more profitable, leaner, premium pricing kind of way. So I have one-to-one packages available to walk you through this exact process, or you can join my mastermind, Boldest Edge Mastermind, if you would like to be in that kind of space. So I'll put the links to my socials and my website in the description below. Check it out. And thank you so much for being here. This has been epic.